Okay, so congratulations for finally reaching the last part for module 2. This is the last part actually, this because this is labeled as module 2.3. And again, I hope that you have already watched the first two videos last week. And this week, you will have to watch another two videos. Ako siyang gi-cut kay cut man ba siya nga topics. And don't worry, kay next week and next week, wala na tayo mga two videos and two modules. It's just that kailangan lang natin siya i-cut ng mga topics kay para mas masabtan niyo and dili mag information overload sa isa ka modulan. Okay, so for the last module, finally, we are now with our social justice and equity as learning philosophies. I hope that you have already eaten your meals, you have your water beside you, and of course, you have your notebook and pen for you to write the important details that you need to take down notes if and only if you want to. So for our examinations and our activities, our quizzes, assignments, diri na to kaon sa ato ang module. So yes, let's continue. So again and again, it's nice to have a quotation before we proceed to our class or our main point, because it would somehow activate your mind to properly understand what will be our topic for this day or for this week. So according to Martin Luther King Jr., he stated that darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. So do you understand that ang darkness kuno dili na siya mawala, but only light can do that? Of course, mawala ang darkness kung naay light. The same as hate cannot drive out hate. Hate alone cannot also drive out the hate. Kung hate ito sa katao, dili mawala itong hate saya. Only love can do that. So if you love the person, because you think that we're all humans and we should treat everyone properly. If you love your students, if you want them to learn, of course, only your love can do that. So, na kay student nga hate ni mo doon kinaunhan, and then you realize something, and then you showed love to the students. So eventually, you will realize that ang hate ni mo na feel saya is nawala. The same as people, mga normal na mga people, kahit ikaw mga students, it applies to all. So only love can drive out hate. So of course, let's spread love because love is important and hate isn't. So let's stop hating each one another. So for our contents, these are the topics that we will be going to discuss. These are the social justice as a learning philosophy. So kanina, inclusiveness as a learning philosophy. Karon, ang ato ang topics are social justice as a learning philosophy and equity as a learning philosophy. So, ang first na itong learning philosophy is ang inclusiveness. Sunod is ang social justice, and sunod is ang equity. So, are you ready? I hope you're ready right now. If you're ready, kindly clap your hands once. So, let's go. First is social justice as a learning philosophy. So, how can we say that social justice is a learning philosophy? Okay, unsay atong una i-discuss? Of course, we have to discuss first the origins of social justice. Asa gikan ang social justice di. So, the term social justice class was first used in the mid-19th century by Luigi Tapparelli di Azeglio as he is a Sicilian priest in response to changes wrought upon society by the Industrial Revolution and the church position on these changes. So this is cited by Connor last 2013, and it was stated by Zajda, Majanovic, and Rust. So according to Luigi Taparelli Diazeglio, Sicilian priest na siya, according to him, ang social justice kuno is a response to changes wrought upon by this industrial revolution. So when we say social, it involves people, and when we say justice, justicia, right? So in the other hand, no, he advocated that people from all levels of society should work together toward meeting everyone's needs without resorting to competition, conflict, or violence. So that's it. Diba? Mas nasabtan na ito ang pasabot sa social justice. Akong gingan kanina, na kumain social justice, we are involving people. So according to the Sicilian president Luigi Taparelli, kwan daw, dapat ang all levels of society, from the highest level of the society to the lowest level of society, if and only if magtinabangay tang tanan, work ang atong gusto nga mo work, because we are meeting everyone's need. Diba? We are helping each other. We are giving our helping hands with each other. And of course, it is necessary nga walay competition nga mahitabo. Dili ta ka-compete sa atong mga kaila, to ang mga friends and people everywhere. Walay conflict, walay problems nga nahitabo, o walay violence. It is a very possible nga thing nga mahitabo, no? That the people in the society will help each other, tapos positive ang result. And of course, if dili taga ka dili taga apply sa mga maayong buhat sa atong society, then the social justice won't happen. Okay, so that is according to Luigi. Next is, so gikan sa ato nilang mga origins, according to the origins stated kanina, we can begin to see the premise of social justice as promoting and upholding equality among people for the greater good of all. Now, it is very important that in the teaching and learning process inside the classroom, teachers should know how to uphold equality among the students. And of course, we have to see to it that we are applying the social justice, promoting equity and equality. Okay. That is, or that came from the origin of social justice. For a while. Okay, so kinahanglan, the main point is kinahanglan atong i-promote ang equality inside our classroom. So equality, for example, sa atong mga students, we're giving, or we are treating them equally, fairly, justly, because or regardless of their difference, diba? So mana siya ang equality. So next is this. Social justice advocates hope to build a society in which individuals have equal access to resources and receive equitable treatment regardless. So this is what I have said kanina, that equality is very connected to the social justice, because social justice has this aim or goal that it needs to provide a strong society, a successful society with individuals nga gatinabangay with each other, or individuals nga na access to resources. And of course, regardless of everyone's differences, individual differences, dapat gatinabangay ra gihapon. So we can see that a lot of people nowadays who are rich people, they tend to see themselves as higher than the than those not that rich nga mga people. Bantayan ninyo, nga kanang mga kwartahan, ginalantaw nila ilang kaugalingon as higher than the poor ones. So that is not a good example of social justice. That is social injustice. So dili na siya maayo if kamo makwartahan ko, you have to see everybody equally regardless of that person's race, gender, religion, sexuality, income level, or disability. And according to Alvarez, last 2019, ang social justice kuno is distributing resources fairly. So, ako ngayon ganiha, nga ang justice is all about justisya. It is giving a balanced treatment, a fair treatment, no? And social, it is involving a lot of people. That's why we're talking about people here. We're talking about individuals. We're talking about students, no? And according to Alvarez, inside the classroom, if we distribute resources fairly, for example, the books, no, dili na itong ginapili-pili isa itong ginhatagan, but instead, we do our best para tanan mahatagan fair, and of course, we treat our students like they are our own child, and of course, their own brother or sister, pero equally. Kumain ko equally ganyan. We're treating the students like kung unsa niya akong treat ani ni Juan, mo pa akong treat ni Ben. Kung unsa akong treat anang nilang duha, mo pa akong treat sa kadaghanan. That is called treating all students equitably. So that of course they can feel that they're safe and secure sa imong hands, diba? Physically and psychologically. So that is, or that can be considered as social justice. Next is, the first way to promote social justice in the classroom is to create a community of conscience. Nga naman, kinahanglan na siya, in order for us to promote the social justice inside the classroom, dapat ang tanang mga tao na ay konsensya. Like kung ilan yung buhato ng isa ka thing, ilang ma-realize nga, unsa kay iyang ma-feel, or unsa kay mahitabo sa iyaha, unsa kay mahitabo sa ako kung ako aning buhaton. Diba? This environment ensures that students' voices, opinions, ideas are valued and respected. Well, inside the classroom, dapat ang tanang mga students does have or do have the conscience, like kung ako aning butang bato ning bag ni kuan, unsa kaya mahitabo, unsa kaya iya ma-feel later. Diba? Or kung ako kaning sulatan ning class record mo, unsa iya ma-feel. So that is very important. Kaya kinahanglan man nato i-ensure nga ang environment inside sa atong classroom na dungog ang mga students' voices, dili lang kay teacher's voice. Diba? So mayon tangang teacher per mi masunod, that is not a good practice, that is not a good environment, and we are not promoting social justice. Opinions and ideas should be valued and respected by the teacher. So if you will be teachers someday, you have to respect your students' opinions and ideas. Well, there's no wrong ideas. It's their own ideas and opinions. So you should respect it, or you should respect them. Because we can establish a community of conscience kung kabalo lang ta mo create mo gama mga rules and routines nga makapa-prevail sa fairness sa to ang pag-teach. That is very important. Always remember that. So, mana siya, teachers are also very important factor inside the classroom para maka-create taog ka ng social justice, para na community of conscience. Dapat magsugod sa itong teacher daan nga fair, tamo treat sa itong mga students. And of course, madungog ang mga voices sa itong mga students. Kabalo tamo acknowledge sa ilahang mga ideas. Nga na siya class. Okay, I hope inyo nasabtan. Next is another definition for social justice. It is a value that gets integrated into teaching philosophies and action of teachers. So what does it mean? When helping the students, nga maka-feel sila nga they are safe and highly encouraged, the teacher should of course help the students start asking the right questions. And of course, mo participate inside the classroom in different ways nga maka-help sila para mahimong purposeful ang ilang pag-ask, para mahimong purposeful ang ilang questions, and para mahimong productive ang ilang adlaw. That is why the social justice is a value that gets integrated sa mga teaching philosophies. Kaya ma-integrate man nato ang pamaagi sa social justice sa sulod sa classroom. So, muna yung timanan ha, kung mga teachers to someday, dapat ipa-feel to sa mga students that they are safe and they are highly encouraged by us. Ano to silang encourage nga mag-ask sila questions nga mga importante lang. And of course, para makita nila nga naigamit nilang pag-ask and productive ang ilang mga adlaw together with us. Okay? So, I hope nasabtan ninyo. Okay, let's proceed, ha? Okay. Next is the capability approach. Ang atuang i-discuss kaganiha is we're talking about the social justice. Next is the capability approach. What's the capability? From the word capable, meaning you will be able or you have the ability to do this one. So, what's the capability approach? So, let us first discuss its origin. Okay, so the capability approach, it is developed and pioneered by economist philosopher Amartya Sen and philosopher Martha Nussbaum. Okay, Nussbaum or Nussbaum. It is cited by Steele, Pollard Plus 2019. So according to them, according to Amartya Sen and Martha Nussbaum, it is an approach that addresses issues of disability, equity, and social justice. So tananan siya. Naana diri ang disability, equity, and social justice. Mo na sa capability approach yung kinahanglan nato ma-ibawaan or ma-keep in mind. Okay? So again, it is an approach nga ga-address niya ang issue sa disability, equity, and social justice. Mo na gitawag og capability approach. So let us first himayon nato sa daan kung sa ilang mga idea or sa ilang mga words nga gihatag explanation sa capability approach. So let's start first with Amartya Sen. What does she say? Sen's use of the approach, according to Nussbaum, has been concerned with the assessment of poverty, focusing on human development rather than income per se. Okay, guys, according to Amartya Sen, or ang iyang focus sa kumanya the capability approach, ang iyang focus or she is more concerned with the assessment of poverty. If and only if, for example, that student is very poor and he or she's experiencing poverty in their homes, so ma-assess na ako nga na-dyan na reason nga nanghinay siya sa klase, na-dyan na reason nga nang dili siya ga-participate. And of course, she is focusing on human development rather than the income. So it is nice to hear that someone is really focusing on the development of that person as a human rather than lantaw niya ang income. Okay? Next is Martha Nussbaum. Sa kang Nussbaum, she used the approach, however, philosophical iyang way. Not philosophical because this is the explanation. Nussbaum claims that there are 3 unresolved issues of social justice which are neglected by the existing theories of social justice. May existing theories, these are still topics or things, statements nga wala pa na-prove kay kinahanglan pa sila og further tests. Kay theories pa man siya, diba? So, gipagi niya ang capability approach into a philosophical way sa pag-explain nga there are still 3 unresolved issues of social justice. Nga na-neglect na lang sa mga existing mga theories. So, unsa ni mga three unresolved issues? These are the justice to non-human animals. Okay? Justice to non-human animals, as you can see or as you can observe nowadays, Chinese are prone or are so into eating animals that dili na siya kinahanglan. And nakalimtan na nato na siya nga tagaan po sila nato og justice. So wala na siya naitabo, wala na siya na-apply. That's why unresolved issue. Second one is extending justice to all world citizens. So as you can see nowadays, or as you can see on the news, that the Ukraine is being attacked by Russia. And regardless of kinsay tag-iya sa land, kung may tag-war class, there are innocent people na makill. So according to what I have learned, war brings nothing but takes away everything. Diba? So the same as sa Syria, sa Yemen, sa Libya, sa Palestine. Palestine is continuously gikuan sa taga-Israelites, gibawi sa mga Zionists ang ilang land. Now, a bit of history about this. In general, na pag-explain, since we have the same or different religion. So, ano niya siya, before, kanang mga Israelites, they don't have their own land, and the Palestinians are accepting them, because according to the history, if you believe it or not, if emotion is searched, there are history na kana mga refugee ng mga Israelites. And thankfully, we have this kind-hearted Palestinians, so they accepted these people. But eventually, as time goes by, as these Israelites are being more powerful, they are starting to get greedy or get greedier. Like they want that ang katong mga land gipangpuy-an sa mga Palestinians kanang gusto na mailaa. So regardless if that person is a man or a woman, ilaan ng patyon, ilaan ng bugbugon or whatsoever, these people are Zionists. Main kag Zionists, these people do the mass killings, wala sila ilabot ug maunsa ka dira, baski bata pa ka or not, gulang. Basta kung makuha nila ang gusto mo na ilang buhaton. So that's still an unresolved issues nowadays. It is kind of being unfair and unjust that the world is silent whenever a Muslim country or Muslims are kanang sa tawag aning nadihado. But when we say Ukraine, oh, pray for Ukraine, do this and do that. So this is still an unresolved issue, extending justice to all world citizens. Per class, if the war has been stopped, kung wala na ning war, kung wala na ning batasan sa taong dili mo kontento, or mawala na ning batasan sa taong kanang gusto pa dyan siya away or whatsoever, the world will be in peace. But still, it is an unresolved issue of social justice. And the third one is justice to people with physical or mental impairments. Dili na mosulod ang atuang special education. So there are still people nowadays nga na physical and mental impairments. They are being bullied, they're being discriminated by a lot of people nga makakita sa ilaha or maka-experience, maka-deal sa ilaha. Very much example kung makakita tagbuang ato ang katawan. Very much example if makakita tagbungol or whatsoever, someone who has a certain impairment, mura tag mangyamid. And that is not a good attitude. That is not a good way of dealing someone who has a certain impairment. And since there are still a lot of people who are judgmental nowadays, it's still an unresolved issue. So again, the two people who developed and pioneered the capability approach were Martisan and philosopher Martha Nussbaum. Okay, kindly take note of that. And what is the definition of capability approach? It is an approach that addresses issues of disability equity, and social justice. Okay, so there are three still unresolved issues nowadays. Social justice. We have the justice to non-human animals, extending rather justice to all world citizens and justice to people with physical or mental impairments. The basis of her approach and the key point of difference between Nussbaum and Sen is the least rather of 10 universal central entitlements, which together signify the threshold for living in a fully human way. Okay, so these central human capabilities are, so kani sila nga mga central human capabilities, we have actually 10, I think. So let's see and let's discuss. First is life, living a full human life of a normal span. Okay, mo na itong capability, no? Now we live a happy life. Okay, let's live while we're young. Okay, atong i-live ang atong full human life of a person. Normal person. Muna itong capabilities. Second na itong capability, body health. Being adequately nourished and with shelter. Okay? Let me remind you, kung ipinanganak tayong mahirap, it's not our sin or hindi yan kasalanan. But if we die na mahirap, it's our kasalanan na. Okay? Third is bodily integrity, na integridad sa itong lawas. We have the freedom of movement. Okay, muna itong capabilities, maka-move ta. Security from various forms of assault, kanang na ay mga mangbugbog sa imong ha, kaya ni mo i-cover yourself, kaya ni mo i-protect yourself. We have the opportunities for sexual expression and reproductive choice. 4, we have the capability to use our own senses. Imagination and thought, being able to use the senses, we can imagine, we can think, we can reason in a human way. We can inform and cultivate, or we will be informed and cultivated by an adequate education. We will be more literate, or we can have the mathematics and science trainings. So, muna siya. May capability na to another. Next is emotions, having freedom of attachment and association. Of course, we can express our emotions. We will be easily attached by people nga mag-express sa ato og feelings. Pero class, a certain tip, according to my experience, charot, you should be more aware of the people around you, and you should choose what kind of friends ang imong friends. And if bago pa ka nakamit na ng a certain person, do not be attached immediately. You have to know first who is this person, kung sa iyang mga ginabuhat everyday, kinsa ni siyang anak, nag-eskwela ba ni siya or whatsoever, kay basig kriminal tayo kay istorya, or i-ghost ra ka after. So, mga dili maayo nga ma-attach tayo because you do not know that that person is talking to someone or talking to everyone. Pinag-overthink ko na kayo ngayon. Mga naika-MU dira. Pinag-overthink ko na kayo. Anyway, we all have the capability to, of course, express our attachment to that person. So guys, sa mga girls there or sa mga boys nga, if you have expressed your feelings or confessed your feelings to someone, do not say sorry. Because class, if you say sorry, it's like you are being liar, or you are lying to yourself. You're not being yourself. You're just being you. That's why you said that. You're just being you. That's why you confessed your feelings. And you don't have to control your feelings, because if you want to i-control or dili na mga aggressive way, ang basta-basta control is, if you love someone, then say to that someone. But if some situation like dili siya pwede nimo i-say, then don't say it, because you know that it is not applicable. But if it is applicable, like the story of Ryan Bang and Yang Constantino, then do it, because it's not wrong to be rejected, or it's not wrong to feel rejected at times. So since natay freedom of attachment and expression of our emotions. Next is practical reason, being able to form a conception of the good and to engage in critical reflection about the planning of one's life. So, kung gusto ta nga magminyo ta karang adlaw, or magminyo ta sa bulan, tapos mo niya ako ang family pohon, manarbang ko ani, bayon, maningkamot ko para makabuhi ko sa kong anak mo niya itong another nga capability. Also, this entails protection of the liberty of conscience and religious observance. So we all have the right to, or capability to choose our own religion. Yeah. Next is affiliation. It is not wrong or it is not our kasalanan na naging ganyan ng ating affiliation. For example, if you're a Cebuano, Hiligay nun, an Ilocano, an Ilonggo, it's not your kasalanan because you have the capability to live that way and being able to live with others in forms of social interaction like friendship at work, protected against discrimination and self-respect sa mga tao regardless of asa na siya gikan nga race, sex, sexual orientation, religion, nationality, caste, and ethnicity, goods kaayo kung kabalota mo accept kung sa karon. Diba? For example, my affiliation is Maguindanao. So and so, it is my capability to live this way. It is my capability to live this way, nga magsuot og hijab, magsuot og mga longer nga mga clothings and mga loose clothing. So that's our central human capabilities. Aids other species, being able to live with concern for and in relation to animals, plants in the world of nature. So we all have our pets at home. So it is our capability to pet them. Press na kung anak ay miming sa balay. And of course, mga plantitas, that is very normal because it is our capability rather, to connect with the world of nature. Next is play. It is important that we have to be playful sometimes. Being able to laugh, play, to enjoy recreational activities, isa na sa atuang capability. And lastly, control over one's environment, being able to participate in political choices and participation, having freedom of speech and association, being able to hold property, being able to work as a human being. So this is our capability. No, last capability. Natay atong control sa atong own environment. Natay ato ang own political choice. But please, if you will be teacher someday, avoid ta ng atong advertise sa atong students o kinsay ato ang politiko. Teachers are non-partisan. The same with the barangay officials. So, magbantay-bantay tana. We have the freedom of speech and association. We can be an owner to a house and lot, to a land or whatsoever. And of course, we can work as a human being. That is the last one of our human capabilities. Okay, everybody shake your hands. Everybody inhale. Everybody exhale. Everybody inhale. Everybody exhale. And everybody inhale. Exhale sharply. Okay, drink your water. Okay, you have 5 seconds to drink your water. So we'll have our next topic. It is all about equity as a learning practice. Kanina, ato ang na-discuss equality. Diba? Ato ang na-discuss equality. And unsay ilang kalainan ni equity before ta mo proceed sa ato ang discussion. Second discussion, which is all about equity as a learning philosophy. So, unsay kalainan nilang duha? Then let's learn. So, first and foremost, we have the equality. Okay, wala siya gid-quandary sa, wala siya gid-differentiate. Okay. Ako lang siya iingon sa inyo, ha? Sige. Equality, guys, or my dear students, we're talking about treating everyone the same or exact way, regardless of need and any other individual difference. So mas kaya asa pa na siya gikan, unsa pa na siya nga klase sa student, kung unsa imong pag-treat sa imong isa ka student, the same sa the rest ng mga students, that is called as equality. Okay? How about equity? On the other hand, equity means everyone is provided with that they need to succeed. Everyone is provided with that they need to succeed. So kung sa'yo ilang mga kinahanglanon or ilang need nga kinahanglanon, ginahatag sila para mo succeed ang tanan. Okay, another set of definitions. When we say equality, it means each individual or group of people is given the same resources or opportunities. Okay? Kung may itong equity, recognizes that each person has different circumstances and allocates the exact resources and opportunities needed to reach an equal outcome. Okay, best example. Sige, mag-example ka. Example ha. So kani sila nga duha tao, they were given the right to be educated, to have the access to equal education. So inside the classroom, they were treated by the teacher the same way, no? The same way, or they were given the same opportunities. Gipa-participate sila sa tanang activities, gitagaan sila libro that is considered as equality. But kani siya ang tao, wala siya disability. But kani siyang tao on the right side, kani si baby girl, na siya disability. And as you can see, nagkuan na siya siya ang foot. So, saan ito pag-apply sa equity? What do you think? Kung kani si kuan, kung kani si person without disability, naka-try siya PC inside the classroom, gitagaan siya PC inside the classroom para makapasa PowerPoint presentation nga ipapasa yung teacher. Then kani siya, regardless kung saan niya siya nga certain type of person, gitagaan po siya og computer para or PC para nga makapas po siya ang PowerPoint. So that can be considered as equity. Okay, let me share something, Let me share something that will help you understand more what is equity and equality. Okay, very well. Difference of equality and equity. Okay. Sige. This is the best example, actually. And I want you to be reminded that equity is a nice thing. Nga ito ang i-apply sulod sa ito ang classroom. Okay, let me share this. Okay. For a while. Para mas masabtan na itong tanan. Nasa kalainan ni quality of equity. Okay. Let me share my screen again. Okay, I think I am screen sharing already. Sige. As you can see on the picture, we are talking about equality and equity before tayo proceed sa second discussion. As you can see on the first picture, equality, we are talking about equality. So, di ba kung gingan nyo kung may equality, we were given the same resources or kung sa itong treatment sa isa, the same po sa tanan. So, kung unsa ng, kung gihatagan o isa kakahon si uncle, dira sa picture, gihatagan po isa kakahon tanan. Nakasabot mo, regardless kung unsa na sila kaputot, regardless ilang differences. Okay? So, kana si uncle, nakakita pagyapon siya sa play. Si Dudong, nakakita gyapon siya sa play. Si baby, nakakita gyapon pero naglili. That is equality. You were given the same opportunity or the same treatment. Pareho sa tanan, pareho sila gitungtungan. But kung may equity, sa equity, it means everyone is provided with what they need to succeed. Or each person has different circumstances, lalo na if they have different height, and allocates the exact resources and opportunities needed to reach an equal outcome. So si Uncle, kaya makakita naman siya with or without, iyaang gihatag ang iyang kahon sa gamatoy. Okay, kaya ang second person, kaya makakita naman siya. Diba? And kaning third person, kaning nasa equality, the same ang treatment, pero dili ka siya kakita. Right? So in order for him, para makakita pa ayos sa game, this person gave his kahon to this baby girl, baby boy. So silang tulo, nag-successful or nag-succeed, meaning nakakita sila sa game. That is the difference between equality and equity. Saan na kayo, no? Saan na kayo, Sabton? So I hope nakasabot mo sa explanation with this picture, and with this picture. Equality and equity. Anyway, I will be giving you this PowerPoint presentation para mas masabtan niyo. Okay, next is what is equity? This is the definition, main definition of equity. Unsa equity? We are talking about its definition, the Cambridge Dictionary, cited by Masters last 2018, defines equity as the situation in which everyone is treated fairly and equally. So ang yan definition is somewhat confusing because kanina, umayang tag-equality, we are also treating everyone fairly and equally. Pero dito mo pagtuo sa akong explanation because equity is we are giving everyone the chance to be successful at a time. Like at one time, sila tanan pasar. Nga na ha? So in education, the term equity refers to the principle of fairness. So dito mag-base sa definition sa education. So equity refers to the principle of fairness. While it is often used interchangeably with a related principle of equality, equity encompasses a wide variety of educational models. Nganong wide variety man siya, kaya kita mo sa picture kanina, equality, the people are just given equal opportunities, or they were just given this and that, the same treatment. But kung may equity, daghan na siyang involved, kay we are talking about the ways on how a person can be successful. So under any, we have the educational models, we have the programs, we have the strategies that will of course considered fair, but not necessarily equal. So mo na siya kung gingan siya class add ko sa explanation ganiha nga ang ihatag nimo dapat sa students ni strategies fair, but dili necessary nga equal. Nga naman, kay kung equal pa to, para sa equality nga to ang gihatag, dili gihapon kakita to si third person. Pero kung may not necessarily equal, ihatag nimo ang diri sa third person, then everybody will also still succeed. So mana siya ang equity. Okay, there are some views on equity that we should also, I would like to also impart you or kinahanglan nga mahibawaan ninyo. This is actually an idea that came from the education reform last 2016. So it has been said that equity is the process, equality is the outcome. Oh, all right. So kung ato siyang ikuan sa education daw, ang equity is the process and equality is the outcome. And and I would like to kuan aniha kanang accept this idea. So dili sa ta mag-base dito sa kanang picture. So ato sa lang ato sa lang discard sa tong huna-huna ang picture. Kung may mga equity is the process, we're talking about the process on how we employ or implement the teaching and learning process inside our classroom. Kung may equality, kung may mga student na ni succeed or may mga students nice ang result tanan sa after sa assessment, then that is called as equality. Given that equity, what is fair and just may not in the process of educating students reflect strict equality. What is applied, allocated, or distributed equally. Basta mora to ang kuan, ang focus, equity is the process, equality is the outcome. Some views on equity. Next is, according to Starman, Sheskin, and Bloom, cited by Steelmasters last 2018. This is an interesting article though, according to them. People value fairness over equivalence, right? Mas ginavalue na to ang fair na treatment sa to kaysa sa equal nga paghatag og resources sa atwa. Like for example, in a party or in a kanang wedding, gitagaan mo tanan og same food, same amount of food, same kalami sa food, but ang treatment sa inyo is ubos or dili maayo because kato sila nga mga tawo nga nasa inyo nahan kay kwartahan and kamo dili mo kwartahan. So regardless of the kuan, bahalag equivalent pa na imong nadawat dira kung dili fair ang pag-treat sa inyo, then it wouldn't be nice, right? Because there are situations man daw good in which people view equal treatment as fair. But there are also other situations nga unequal treatment is fair. Ngano ka para sa ila ang unequal treatment is fair? We don't know. Ngano yung nga nang ila ang idea, di ba? So this suggests that when it comes to equity, fairness trumps equality. Kung mayon tawag equity, fairness ang magpatigbabaw over equality. So muna siya itong i-consult sa classroom, mas bugat ang equity sa teaching and learning process. Okay, so equity in education is viewed or often viewed as equivalence or sameness through the lens of fairness. Educational equity means that each child receives what he or she needs to develop his or her full academic and social potential. So kung sa gikinahanglan sa child, nga yan gi-receive because the teacher is giving that to him or her, then it can be called as educational equity because the teacher know that that would make him or her successful. Okay, working towards equity, unsay na sa equity involves what? Okay, we are including ensuring high quality outcomes for all participants in our educational system, removing the predictability of success or failures that currently correlates with any social or cultural factor. So muna naa sa first way or involvement sa equity. Working towards equity. So say na sa working towards equity, ensuring high quality outcomes for all participants in our educational system. So ato ang gina-remove ang mga predictability of success or failures. Instead, we have this goal nga dapat successful, no? Without any social or cultural factor ato nang walaon. Second is interrupting inequitable practices, examining bias, and creating inclusive multicultural school environments for adults and children. So since we are talking about equity, ato ang ginawala ang mga inequitable practices, mga biases sa school, and we are creating multicultural school environment, meaning all cultures sa mga students are accepted. Next is discovering and cultivating the unique gifts, talents, and interests that every human possesses. So these are the major things that we need to consider when working towards equity. So if we will be teachers someday, we should see to it. We should always keep in mind that we are teaching here because we want that our students will learn from us. Or we want that our students will be treated fairly and they will be given things or actions or practices that will help them succeed. So dapat dili ta mag-drag down sa atong mga students kay gusto makata nga mopasar sila. So all in all, let's have first a review. This last module is mainly focusing manjud on the social justice as a learning philosophy and equity as a learning philosophy. The first one kanina, we have talked about inclusiveness as a learning philosophy. So kung may social justice, it was termed or given by Luigi Taparelli de Azeglio. He is a Sicilian priest. And what did he say? Social justice is a response to changes wrought upon society by the Industrial Revolution. And of course, ang people dapat have this advocacy that all levels of society should work together para ma-meet nato ang atuang needs without, of course, competition, conflict, or violence. Okay, so we should uphold equality among people. Social justice will help us to be more flexible, adaptable, and understanding regardless of the person's race, gender, religion, sexuality, income level, or disability nga atong mami. And of course, we're distributing resources fairly and treating all students equitably. So muna ang social justice. And what is the first way to promote social justice? It is to create a community of conscience. Nga naman, because it is our role as teachers to teach fairness in our classroom discussions. And ma-promote nato ng community of conscience or environment if and only if gina-ensure nato nga atong paminawon ang voices atong students, opinions, and ideas, and of course, gina-respect nato unsay ilang ginaingon. Like, gina-respect na to nga, mo na ilang decision, mo na ilang opinion. Okay? And of course, second one is that it gets integrated in the teaching philosophies because it is necessary that if we teachers someday will be teaching in the real life situation, we should know dapat o unsaan pag-integrate sa social justice inside the classroom. That is to maintain peace and para makalearn ang tanan nimong students. So we should help our students feel safe and encouraged. Okay, the capability approach. It is coined, pioneered by Amartya and philosopher Martha Nussbaum. What's meaning? It is an approach that addresses issues of disability, equity, and social justice. So yes, ang 3 unresolved issues until now. Sa social justice, we have the justice to non-human animals, extending justice to all world citizens, and of course, justice to people physically and mentally impaired or impairments. Okay, these are the different central human capabilities nga atong magbuhat in our everyday lives. And of course, we have the equity as a learning philosophy. We have the differentiation of equality and equity. Kung may equality, we're giving equal resources to all the person or to all the students in our class. Kung may equity, we are giving something to the students or to the people nga makahelp sila to succeed. So it is not necessary nga equal lang mong ihatag, but of course, you have the aim nga ang tanan mo succeed. So muna siya equality, equity rather. Equity is considered as the process and equality is the outcome according to Educational Reform last 2016. Kung may equity ang ginavalue sa people kay fairness over equivalence. And kung may equity, fairness will prevail over equality. Okay? So these are the ways and how to work towards equity. We have to ensure high quality outcomes for all participants. We should interrupt inequitable practices, examine biases, and create inclusive multicultural school environments. And the last one is discovering and cultivating the unique gifts, talents. Ato ang i-discover ng mga talents sa ato mga students, ilang mga skills at ato na siyang i-cultivate. And these are the list of references that we use during this whole discussion. So class, thank you so much for being patient. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope that you have understood everything about the first module with actually 4 parts. So congratulations for watching this video. Nga na-finish ni mag-watch ng video, and I hope that you will study your 2 modules for this week para sa ato ang quiz. Thank you so much and goodbye.